I'm Cathy Neptune and welcome to my kitchen. We're going to do a great theme show for game day, Go Pats. And it's really great any time of the year. It's a good comfort food. We're going to do the taco ring, and you're going to recognize the technique I'm using to make the taco ring. I promised you there'd be lots of great fillings and different versions of this, and this is one of my favorites. So in addition to the taco ring, we're going to do a warm and comforting and tasty and very easy tortilla soup with chicken. So it's a great way to entertain if you're doing a Super Bowl Sunday or you just want a quick and easy meal. Teenagers love this, and it's great, and it's very festive for entertaining too. So you're going to want to learn how to do this. And don't forget, you can always email me for the recipe, the exact ingredients and method for doing that. And also I have resources for a lot of the tools that you'll be seeing as well, because you need good tools in the kitchen. So let's get started. We're going to start on a pizza stone, and this is going to be for our taco ring, and I preheated the oven to 350 degrees. And if you ever forget how to do this, you use the instructions on your crescent roll package, and it'll tell you exactly what temperature you need. So you just follow those through. And if you remember, we did this with the turkey cranberry wreath and also with the Reuben ring that we did, and it's the same technique, different filling. So we're separating our crescent rolls. And remember, I mentioned the best way to do this to get an even fill is start out at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and you just fill in between with your triangles of crescent rolls. And we have 2 packages today. So, oops, that's not quite a triangle. And we're leaving a hole in the center because it's called a ring. So that's going to be on the test. You want to do good on the test. So we're going to put that over here. And it doesn't really matter because it's all going to be covered up with filling anyway. So you can see how this is going. And a little tip is to keep your crescent rolls cold until you're ready to use them. Don't take them out way ahead of time, because they're much easier to handle when they're refrigerated cold and not setting out for a while, because this dough gets very sticky very quickly. And a lot of you have mentioned and noticed our wonderful new kitchen studio that we have, which is fun and convenient. I'll put this here. You can also do a brunch ring with something like this. And the secret to doing these the crescent rolls is to have your filling prepared and cooled. Very, very important that the fillings are cool so that you don't, again, soften up the crescent rolls too much, and then they're really tricky to work with if they're too soft. I'm going to put them there. And I'm always amazed when this comes out evenly, because it's always fun to do. So you can see how they overlap in the middle. And I'm just going to take a roller, or you could use your hands, and I'm pressing the dough down so that it's going to be even, an even thickness, so it'll bake evenly. It wouldn't be good if it's all mounded up in the middle. It wouldn't cook evenly. So you just basically want it to look like a big sunburst. And we're going to move that over there. So how easy is that? And I'll show you what I did for the filling. Now underneath, we have 1 pound of lean ground beef, or you could certainly use turkey or a combination of lean pork and hamburger. And what I like to do, a good suggestion I think, is to make sure that you brown your hamburger or your meat mixture very, very well, so you get a lot of flavor in the beef. If you just basically cook it until it's not pink anymore, you don't get the flavor. So really cook down your beef until it gets toasty. And then I added 1 packet of taco seasoning mix, and I cooked that a little bit with the hamburgers to get really waking up the spices, because they've been sitting in a package a long time. So you want to kind of toast those with the meat, and then you add about 2 tablespoons of water to the mixture. and cook it down until it's dry, until there's no liquid in here. Very important, because you don't want the liquid to go into the dough and it just make it mushy. So again, another technique, very important step. Let this meat mixture cool. Drain your meat if you have to before adding the seasonings and the liquid. But I find if you use a very, very lean beef or meat product, then you don't have to drain it. So this has been browned and seasoned with the taco mix and cooled down, and we're going to add 2 cups of your favorite cheddar or Mexican or Monterey. I have a blend of all different types of cheeses. And you can certainly grate your own, but it's so convenient to have these in the packets ready to go. And mix that together very well. Did you know you can freeze cheese in the packets when it's on sale? I just take it and pop it in the freezer, and then you're always good to go. You just let it thaw overnight, and you always have cheeses ready to go. So you can see it's all just mixed evenly. And how hard is that? It's not difficult at all to do. We're going to take our crescent rolls, and we're just going to take and fill them. Now, you don't have to use a scoop if you don't want to. I just find it easier, but you can just take a spoon and fill. We're doing all around the edge here. And you don't have to be fancy or specific, just as long as everything ends up on top of the dough that you press down. And many of you will recognize this technique, like I said, for the turkey cranberry wreath and our wonderful Reuben that we did for St. Patrick's Day. So look on the website. You'll see my email website underneath your screen, and you can just view that, or you can email me directly, and I'll be happy to send you the recipe. So many of you have done that, and it's fun to hear your comments. So thank you so much for your kind words and input and suggestions. So we've taken the meat, and it's, you know, you can see it's not very neat looking, but that's what cooking's all about. So we're going to take the dough, fold it up and over the top, and remember it's kind of like a sunburst, and you can just tuck in the meat as you go along. Nobody's going to notice because it's going to taste so good. And wait until you see the way we garnish this. It's really kind of cool. I'll tell you, like I mentioned, the teenagers absolutely love this. I made this in Nantucket over the summer, and everybody, all the guests went nuts over it. And they asked me to make it again the next day. So I made a couple of them, and they really loved them. So you can see how this looks. And we have the oven preheated according to the directions on your crescent rolls, which is 350. Now, remember, the only thing that we're baking in here, or cooking, are the crescent rolls. So if you have the ingredients to how to prepare and bake the crescent rolls, you basically got it done, because the fillings are already prepared and cooled. So I'm going to put this into the oven, and we're going to be back in a minute and start on our chicken tortilla soup. Welcome back. I have my taco ring cooking in the oven at 350, and that usually takes about 20 to 25 minutes until the crescent rolls are done. That's how you know. And the filling is warm and the cheese is melted. That's a great recipe with just 4 ingredients. Simple, fun, fast, and fabulous. And that's the way I roll in the kitchen. Now, starting out for our chicken tortilla soup, I started out with about 2 cups of chicken that I cut up and I browned briefly, or you could use leftover chicken or even leftover turkey. Has a lot of flavor. And I browned this up with 2 packages of the taco seasoning mix to give it flavor, and also about a half a cup of any kind of onion or shallot that you like. Chop that up and saute it all together briefly. And this is something you could do the night before if you're cooking your chicken. And if you have chicken or turkey that's already cooked, you can just start from scratch, because this is really quick and easy to do. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to add some prepared chicken stock. But before I add the whole thing, and it's about 5 cups, I'm going to pour, this is my best secret for thickening the soup. These are corn tortillas that I have, the tortilla chips, and I'm saving a little bit of the stock, and this is going to thicken our chicken tortilla soup, and it gives it a wonderful underlying flavor note that people really don't identify with, and it's a great secret and gives a lot of flavor. So it doesn't matter how much you pour in with the tortilla chips because it's all going back in the chicken soup anyway at the end to thicken up. So we're going to add the chicken stock in here, and certainly you can use your own homemade chicken stock, but these are so convenient and affordable. I always have these in my pantry ingredients ready to go. So putting that in there, and basically there's not really much cooking on this. We're just going to heat it up on the stove and add some toppings to it, much like you would for tacos. So in here, I have some pepperoncini, and I love these in place of Mexican peppers or poblanos that you buy in a can, or sometimes jalapeno peppers are a little strong or spicy for most people. So I just buy the jarred pepperoncini, and I always have them on hand. They keep very well in the refrigerator. They're in a vinaigrette. So for your tacos and your toppings, it's a great pantry item to have in your refrigerator because you refrigerate them once you open them. And then on the cutting board, I want to show you a little trick that I've used for years. You know how the counters get so slippery? You just take a wet paper towel, just dampen it a little bit and put it on the bottom, and you put it under your cutting board, and it anchors your cutting board so you're not chasing it all around the kitchen counter. Great tip, especially if you're cooking with children in your kitchen. You don't want them learning how to use a knife on a board that's slipping and sliding. It's safer for you as well. So that's a great tip to do. So we're going to take some of these pepperoncini in place of your poblanos or whatever pepper that you would use. And I'd probably use a hefty tablespoon. And I'm just going to chop them up. And it's according to taste, but you can start with a little and then add more as toppings. If people like a spicier soup, you can certainly just chop up some jalapenos and put them on the side. And we'll talk about toppings in a minute. So we're putting these into the soup. And again, you could do this all ahead of time. And don't forget we have the onions in there and the taco seasoning. So already you can smell all the different flavors that are inside already. And then we're going to add a little bit of jarred salsa to the mix. And you can get your preferred whatever seasoned salsa. I like the mild. Again, you can put some jalapenos on the side if you wanted to get something a little spicier. But we're going to add right into the stock about ½ a cup of salsa. You can make your own too if you got time, but this is going to be quick and easy. So let's probably eyeball it, ½ a cup or so, more or less, exactly, approximately that much. And you can see the color of the soup is really changing and picking on that nice Mexican flavor and visual. We all have an idea of what Mexican food looks and tastes like, and that's a good start. We're going to add as well a clove of fresh garlic. I always use fresh. Into our, I love this garlic press. See, you don't peel your garlic. You just put it in right, rounded side down. Aim for the bowl. You don't want to miss the bowl on this. And you press your garlic right in there. Remember, we didn't even have to peel it. Great time saver. And then the peel comes out and you're all set. And that goes in the dishwasher when you're done. I love that tool. Going to take a lime and always roll them. And we're going to squeeze fresh lime juice inside. Oh, that smells so good. And of course, you could double or triple this recipe and have it ready and just warm it up when you need it. So that is going to be our tortilla soup, and I'm going to put it on the stove and just bring it up to a boil. And it'll be ready in a minute or so. You just cook it to taste. So on top of that, we're going to have right here, these are all our different toppings. And what's really fun about this is we're going to use this for our taco ring and also for our chicken tortilla soup. So we have some of my favorites here, black olives. You can top our just basic corn chips that we used for our thickener. Sour cream. I saved a little bit of the cheese here. And you can even do an avocado. And we're going to slice an avocado and put that as a topping. Now for those of you who have never sliced an avocado, make sure that they're soft. You cut it through, twist it, take a knife, and you have it all set. You've taken the seed out. Oops, there you go. And then I usually slice it right inside like so. And I saved, you notice I saved the other half of the lime to use this and make just sliced lime. It's not really a guacamole, but it's going to act like a guacamole. And you just put it in the bowl, scoop it out, and do the other half. And avocados are really good. They have a good healthy fat, if there is such a thing. I'll put that inside. And again, scoop it out. The kids love to do this. It's so fun. And you can see this is a very good, ripe avocado. And again, we're going to take our lime. And this prevents it from turning brown and gives it a nice flavor. And you can add seasoning to this if you want, a little bit of salt. Sometimes I'll add a Mexican flavoring on the top. If you have, you can buy Mexican seasoning or taco mix, but I kind of like it plain just as it is. We're going to shred up some lettuce as well. And then I want to show you, remember in the taco ring, it has a hole inside the center of the taco ring. This is really adds to the presentation. I've taken the top of this and V-cut it around. You can take a knife and go up and down, but I have a little V-cutter tool that does that. And you hollow out your pepper like so and empty all the seeds out. You don't have to, but you can if you'd like. I have a trash bucket here, so you don't think I'm throwing everything on the floor. The details are important, you know. So we're going to take this, fill it with salsa, the same salsa we used here, and put it inside the center of the taco ring. And I like to shred lettuce and put it all around the edge of the taco ring as well. So you can see we have all our ingredients ready to go. They're colorful, they're bright. A lot of these are healthy and filling, and I like to have it buffet style on the toppings so people can really add the flavors that they would like to their own Mexican food, and it makes it fun, especially with the children who might be a little particular about certain flavors that they prefer. So we'll set that, and then I want to show you, remember this that we have with the chicken stock inside and the just regular tortilla chips, but you can also use flour tortillas or corn tortillas, work perfectly well. Start out with one flour tortilla or one corn tortilla, or take one of each. Break them up and do the same technique. I'm going to take my immersion blender. Now watch out, this is going to be noisy. And you want to grab onto it and just pulse it to puree the chips with the chicken stock. And it doesn't have to be perfectly pureed, But this here will add a lovely flavor and consistency to your chicken tortilla soup, almost like a chowder would be. So I'm going to add this right into the pot. Oh, this looks heavenly. This is so good, and we're going to serve it in whatever festive bowls that we have. And when we come back, our soup is going to be heated, and our taco ring is almost ready. Wait until you see the presentation. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back. Look at our Mexican feast for game day. We've taken our taco ring out of the oven because all we had to cook were the crescent rolls. And this is our salsa presentation. Look at how beautiful that looks inside your taco ring. And you can take and put lettuce all around the side if you'd like, or you can serve it separately on the side, and our wonderful toppings that we're going to use both for the taco ring and for our chicken tortilla soup. We have sour cream, corn chips, black olives, a little bit of cheddar cheese, and some avocado that we've tossed with fresh lime juice. And remember, you might want to put, for those who want to bump it up a little with some heat, you can also put in some jalapeno peppers on the side. So I'm going to get our chicken tortilla soup that we've served in some beautiful bowls. And we've thickened, remember, we used our flour tortillas to thicken the soup. And we're going to serve that. And this would probably serve 6 people with the recipe that I made for you today. And you can certainly, as I mentioned, double it and put your toppings on that you would for a taco, and serve it alongside. We're going to you can cut your taco ring and serve it right from your stone onto a plate. And I'll show you how I like to do it, because look at how beautifully done. Put it on the side. Like to serve a little bit of lettuce, some sour cream, a little salsa from a little pepper boat. You know what I did one time too? I took different colored peppers instead of bowls, and I used a yellow pepper, a green pepper, a red pepper, an orange pepper, a purple pepper, and I did all of these toppings and V-cut all the peppers and lined them up on a big long tray. And it was just a beautiful presentation. When you're done, you just toss everything out. So it was a fun way to go. I'm going to put a little bit of black olives. Look at how colorful this is. Just a great presentation. And of course, you could put all of these toppings in your soup as well. I like a little bit of sour cream. Float a little bit of avocado. Sometimes I like onion too, but there's onion in the soup, so I didn't want to have it redundant. Maybe a little bit of cheddar cheese, and finish it off with a fun taco chip. So there we have it, our game day feast. Fun, fast, and fabulous. If you have any questions or comments and you'd like to know the recipes, or you'd like to know the resources for some of these wonderful tools for your kitchen, be sure to email me the email address on the bottom of your screen. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you prepare these fabulous dishes. Go Pats! Thanks for watching, and may the fork be with you.